we need to change the culture. And in particular, we need to change the culture that is being fostered by the folks down the road. They would claim to have the responsibility or the participants in gun culture today. But we're here to offer a different sort of culture. We're here to change the culture in this country from that of irresponsible gun ownership to something a little bit more common sense. It was a week and a half ago that my kids were actually locked down in their classrooms because somebody had the bright idea to bring a gun to school and sit outside and load it. Now again, responsible gun ownerships and those that really truly celebrate the Second Amendment would condemn this act and say it's horrible and we should do stuff to prevent this. But again, we're not at the point in our society where that is just common sense. So instead we have this show down the road, and I've been trying to figure out what exactly they're doing and what they're celebrating. I mean, ostensibly they claim that it's a Second Amendment rally, that it is a celebration of our Second Amendment. But then you look at the people who show up there. One man who showed up last year was Joe Arpaio, who is a native son of Springfield, unfortunately, and he's a convicted criminal. He was convicted of criminal contempt in court. And he was brought as a hero of this rally last year. And it doesn't make a lot of sense if you're in favor of the Second Amendment and responsible gun ownership to bring a guy who's abused the law to the point that he was convicted in federal court of criminal contempt. Then there's Clive and Bundy and the Bundy family that have been listed or considered by the FBI as domestic terrorists. This isn't just like, I mean, in the United States to be listed as a terrorist or get on the terrorist watch list, it's a fairly easy thing. But to be a white domestic terrorist and considered that way by the FBI, you've got to do pretty bad things. And it turns out they have. They've taken up arms against the federal government and FBI agents in the standoff. So again, with Joe Arpaio and Clive and Bundy, what's the message that they're sending over there? And then you go down the roster, and there's the, again, Springfield-based Scott Lively, who is a anti-gay pastor who wrote this book, The Pink Swastika, that pointed out that the militarism and the culture of violence and guns in Nazi Germany had to do with homosexuality. He's a prominent speaker there, and again, I'm not sure whether he's saying that gun ownership is a trait of homosexuality, or whether he's just condemning homosexuality in general, or which side he was on in Nazi Germany. But again, not responsible people that possess a whole lot of common sense. There's Larry Pratt, who is the former director of the Gun Owners of America, who has brushed shoulders with white supremacists throughout his career. If I were going to hold a rally that celebrated responsible gun culture, that celebrated the Second Amendment, it wouldn't be with people who threaten that right and who put that right in jeopardy through their irresponsible actions.